African golden wolf. For a long time, this animal was thought to be a type of jackal. It looked like one, behaved like one, and lived alongside them. But genetic studies completed in 2015 revealed something surprising. The African golden wolf is actually more closely related to grey wolves and coyotes than to any jackal. It lives across North Africa and the Horn of Africa, roaming savannas, grasslands, and semi-arid zones. It hunts small mammals, scavenges when needed, and eats fruit and insects without hesitation. That flexibility is a defining trait. Pairs are monogamous and often raise pups with help from older offspring, which is relatively uncommon among wild canids. Despite its modest size, it fills the role of a generalist predator across some of Africa's most demanding landscapes. African wild dog. Few predators on Earth are as efficient as this one. The African wild dog, also called the painted wolf, is one of the most successful hunters in Africa, with a kill rate that exceeds lions and leopards by a wide margin. It lives in sub-Saharan Africa and operates in tightly bonded packs, often ranging from 6 to 20 individuals. The secret to its success is coordination. Pack members communicate constantly during a hunt, adjusting without any single leader dictating the chase. Each dog has a unique coat pattern of black, white, and amber. No two are identical. They are also deeply social animals, with pack members caring for injured companions and regurgitating food for those who couldn't join the hunt. Sadly, they are endangered. Habitat fragmentation, human-wildlife conflict, and disease have pushed wild population numbers below 6,000. Arctic fox. The Arctic fox is built for survival in one of the harshest environments on the planet. It lives across the Arctic tundra, spanning northern Canada, Alaska, Greenland, Iceland, and parts of northern Europe and Russia. Its thick, multi-layered fur provides insulation that allows it to withstand temperatures as low as -50 degrees Celsius. In winter, its coat turns white, blending seamlessly with snow. In summer, it shifts to brown or grey, matching the exposed ground. This seasonal camouflage is one of the more elegant adaptations in the animal kingdom. Arctic foxes often follow polar bears, feeding on the scraps of seal kills left behind. When food is scarce, they cache meals under rocks or in the snow for later. Their hearing is acute enough to detect prey moving beneath a thick layer of ice and snow, allowing them to leap and punch through to catch lemmings below. Bat-eared fox. The bat-eared fox is immediately recognizable by its enormous ears, which can reach 15 centimeters in length. Those ears are not just for show. They function as highly sensitive sound detectors, helping the fox locate insects, particularly termites and dung beetles, moving underground. It lives in the open grasslands and savannas of eastern and southern Africa. Unlike most members of the dog family, this fox feeds almost entirely on insects. Termites can make up as much as 80% of its diet in some regions. Its teeth are also unusual. It has more teeth than almost any other placental mammal of its size, adapted for rapid chewing of hard-shelled insects. Bat-eared foxes are mostly monogamous and tend to live in small family groups. They are gentle animals, rarely aggressive, and spend a great deal of their time foraging side by side with their partners. Bengal fox. The Bengal fox is native to the Indian subcontinent, found primarily across India, Nepal, and parts of Pakistan and Bangladesh. It favors open grasslands, scrublands, and the edges of agricultural land, avoiding dense forests and steep terrain. Slender and lightly built, it has a notably long, bushy tail tipped in black. It is an omnivore, feeding on small rodents, birds, lizards, insects, and fruit. Bengal foxes are monogamous and form lasting pair bonds. Both parents participate in raising pups, which are born in underground dens. One of the quieter members of the fox family, it is not particularly well studied compared to species like the red fox, but it plays a meaningful role in controlling rodent populations in agricultural regions. In parts of India, it has historically been hunted for its fur and body parts used in folk medicine, which has added pressure to some local populations. Black-backed jackal. The black-backed jackal is one of the oldest living canid species, with a fossil record stretching back over 2.5 million years. It lives in two separate and geographically distinct populations, one in eastern Africa and one in southern Africa, separated by thousands of kilometers. Its most distinctive feature is the saddle of silver-black fur running from the back of its neck to the base of its tail, contrasting sharply with its rust-colored sides. It is a highly adaptable omnivore, eating anything from small mammals and birds to carrion, fruit, and insects. Black-backed jackals are known for their boldness around much larger predators, and they are often seen trailing lions or leopards to steal scraps. They mate for life, and pairs defend territories aggressively. Their distinctive call, a sharp, wailing cry, is one of the most iconic sounds of the African night. Coyote. The coyote is one of the most adaptable mammals in North America. Originally a creature of open plains and deserts in the American West, it has steadily expanded its range across the entire continent over the past century. It now lives in nearly every environment from Alaska to Panama, including dense forests, farmland, and the edges of major cities. Its expansion coincided largely with the elimination of gray wolves from much of North America. As wolves disappeared, coyotes moved in to fill the niche. They are omnivores in the truest sense, eating deer, rabbits, rodents, berries, insects, and garbage with equal ease. Coyotes are also vocal. Their nighttime howls and yips are used to communicate territory and location across distances. They typically form monogamous pairs for breeding, though family groups can work together during hunts. Their ability to thrive alongside human development makes them a study in resilience. Gray wolf. The gray wolf is the largest wild member of the dog family and the direct ancestor of every domestic dog alive today. It once ranged across most of the northern hemisphere, from North America through Europe and into Asia. Hunting, habitat loss, and deliberate extermination dramatically reduced those numbers over the 20th century. Though recovery programs, most famously the reintroduction of wolves into Yellowstone National Park in 1995, have brought populations back in certain regions. Wolves live in family packs, typically led by a breeding pair. Territory sizes vary enormously, sometimes covering hundreds of square kilometers. They are apex predators, capable of taking down animals far larger than themselves through coordinated pursuit. The reintroduction at Yellowstone demonstrated something powerful about ecosystems. Wolves triggered a cascade of changes that affected elk behavior, vegetation, and even river courses, a process ecologists call a trophic cascade. Red fox. The red fox is the most widely distributed wild carnivore on Earth. Its range spans North America, Europe, Asia, and North Africa, and it has been introduced, often with complicated consequences, to Australia. It thrives in forests, farmland, mountains, and urban environments. Few animals have adapted to city life as comfortably as the red fox. In many European cities, they are a regular sight, navigating streets and gardens at night with calm familiarity. Their diet is almost unlimited in variety. Rodents, rabbits, birds, earthworms, berries, and discarded human food all qualify. Red foxes are solitary hunters, but do maintain loose family structures during breeding season. Females, called vixens, raise pups in underground dens. Their signature bushy tail, called a brush, makes up nearly a third of their total body length and helps with balance and communication. Their intelligence and adaptability have made them central characters in the folklore of dozens of cultures. Fennec fox. The fennec fox is the smallest member of the dog family, weighing no more than 1.5 kilograms. It lives in the Sahara Desert and other parts of North Africa, surviving in some of the driest and hottest conditions on Earth. Its most defining feature, its ears, can grow up to 15 centimeters, nearly as long as the fox's entire head. Those oversized ears serve two functions. They pick up the faint sounds of insects and small animals moving beneath the sand, and they radiate body heat, helping the fennec stay cool. Its thick, pale fur reflects sunlight during the day and provides warmth during cold desert nights. It rarely drinks water, obtaining most of its moisture from food. Fennec foxes are social and communicate through a variety of vocalizations. Their small size and appealing appearance have made them popular in the exotic pet trade, which has led to population pressure in some parts of their range. Ethiopian wolf. The Ethiopian wolf is the rarest canid in the world and Africa's most endangered carnivore. It lives only in the Afro-Alpine highlands of Ethiopia, at elevations typically above 3,000 meters. Its striking, rust-red coat and long, slender snout give it an almost fox-like appearance, though it is more closely related to grey wolves and was once thought to be a jackal. Fewer than 500 individuals survive in the wild, scattered across 7 isolated mountain ranges. Its diet is highly specialized. It feeds almost exclusively on Afro-Alpine rodents, particularly the giant mole rat, which it hunts alone during daylight hours with precise, methodical technique. Ethiopian wolves live in family groups but hunt solo, a behavior that sets them apart from most other social canids. Disease, particularly rabies, spread by domestic dogs from nearby villages, remains one of the greatest threats to their survival. Golden jackal. The golden jackal is a widespread and often underestimated canid. Its range extends from West Africa and southeastern Europe all the way through South Asia to Myanmar, a remarkably broad distribution for a single species. It is a generalist in every sense of the word, equally comfortable in dry savannas, wetlands, farmland, and urban fringes. Its diet spans rodents, birds, reptiles, fruit, carrion, and scraps from human settlements. Golden jackals form monogamous pairs that hold territories and often raise pups with assistance from older offspring. In recent decades, they have been expanding northward into Central and Eastern Europe, appearing in countries where they had no recorded presence a generation ago. This range expansion is thought to be linked to changing land use patterns and reduced persecution. In some areas, they face conflict with farmers over livestock losses, though direct predation on healthy livestock is relatively uncommon. Maned wolf. The maned wolf is like no other member of the dog family. Tall and long-legged, it looks almost like a fox perched on stilts, though it belongs to a separate genus entirely. It lives in the open Cerrado, the vast tropical savanna of South America, particularly central Brazil, as well as parts of Argentina, Paraguay, and Bolivia. Its long legs are not just striking in appearance, they are a practical adaptation for moving through tall grasses while still being able to see over them. It is an omnivore with a particular fondness for a fruit called the lobera, or wolf apple, which can make up a significant portion of its diet. Maned wolves are solitary and largely nocturnal, and unlike many canids, they do not form packs. Males and females share overlapping territories but spend most of their time alone. Their deep, roaring bark, called a roar bark, serves as a long-distance territorial signal across the open landscape. Raccoon dog. The raccoon dog is one of the more unusual members of the dog family, and one that frequently surprises people who encounter it for the first time. Despite its name and its masked, raccoon-like facial markings, it is not related to raccoons at all. It is native to East Asia, particularly Japan, China, Korea, and parts of Russia. It was introduced to Europe in the 20th century, originally for the fur trade, and has since spread widely across the continent. The raccoon dog has a number of traits that are rare or unique among canids. It is one of the only members of the dog family that hibernates, or at least enters a prolonged period of winter torpor when temperatures drop severely. It climbs trees, which is unusual for a canid, and it tends to be omnivorous, even by wild dog standards, eating everything from frogs and fish to berries and mushrooms. Pairs are strongly bonded and share parental duties equally. Bush dog. The bush dog is one of the least known members of the dog family, and in many ways one of the most unusual. It lives in the tropical forests and wetlands of Central and South America, from Panama down through much of the Amazon basin. Stocky and short-legged, it looks nothing like a typical canid. It has more in common in build with a small bear or an otter. Those short legs make it an excellent swimmer, which suits its swampy forest habitat. Bush dogs hunt in coordinated packs and are capable of taking prey much larger than themselves, including capybaras and rheas. They communicate through an unusually wide range of vocalizations, including high-pitched whines that help keep the pack together in dense undergrowth where visibility is limited. Despite living in potentially large territories, they are rarely seen by researchers, making population estimates difficult. They are considered near threatened. The dhole is Asia's most distinctive wild dog, native to the forests, grasslands, and alpine zones, stretching from the Russian Far East through Central and South Asia and into Southeast Asia. It is sometimes called the Asiatic wild dog or the whistling hunter. That second name comes from its unusual vocalizations, which include high-pitched whistles used to coordinate with other pack members during a hunt. Dholes are highly social, living in clans that can number over 20 individuals, though smaller groups of around 5 to 12 are more typical. They are relentless pursuit predators capable of chasing prey for extended distances. Unlike African wild dogs, dholes have been recorded hunting prey as large as gawa, a massive wild cattle species, demonstrating a boldness that outstrips their medium size. Their populations have declined significantly due to habitat loss, prey depletion, and persecution by humans protecting livestock. They are currently listed as endangered across much of their range.